Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be part 2 of the how to find your face shape video. So part 2 is going to be how to contour a round face. Now, the only reason why I say round face is because I have a round face. So I didn't think that it was necessary for me to go into the other face shapes and how to contour them unless you guys want to know how. If you guys do, leave it in the comment section below that you want to see how to contour heart shape, oval shape, and square shape, because since I have a round shape, I figured it would probably be easiest for me to show you how to contour my face shape. So if you're interested to see how to contour a round shape face, then just stay tuned. Alright, so I want to explain a little something before I get into actual contouring. I'm going to talk about what the difference is between contouring and bronzing because a lot of people don't know the difference. And I'm going to be explaining some of the brushes that you can use to contour as well. So bronzer is basically giving you a warm, sun-kissed look. A lot of people don't understand that bronzing is not contouring. With bronzing, you want to bronze your cheeks in your forehead area, basically anywhere where the sun would naturally hit your face. Also with bronzing, you want to use a fluffy brush that has a little bit of a light touch to it, meaning you don't get a ton of pigment on your face because you want it to look as natural as possible. Now with bronzers, you mostly use warm undertone powders or creams. An example I can give you is one of my favorite bronzing powders is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This is a very, very warm orangey tone shade. Another example that I have is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Now if you open the palette up, you will notice that you have 3 shades on the bottom here. I use these 2 shades the most. Now if you look at these 2 shades, you will notice that this one has a more cool undertone and this one has a more warm undertone. Warm undertone is like a yellow orange type of thing going on, and then cool undertones have more of a gray cast to them. And so I love to use these 2 for contouring slash bronzing. When I swatch the 2 colors, you will notice that this one has a very orange undertone and this one has a very cool undertone, and that's another way to find if one is a bronzer, one is a contour. Here's another good example. This is a bronzing shade, this is a contour shade. This is very, very warm undertone and this is very, very cool undertone with that kind of grayish color mixed in there. Bronzers, they can have a shimmer and they can have a matte. A lot of people like the shimmer because it kind of gives you that radiant natural glow that the sun usually gives you, and for that I have the Hard Candy bronzer right here. This thing has quite a bit of shimmer to it, so that's kind of the difference between bronzer and contouring. With bronzing is supposed to be natural sun-kissed look. Now with contour, it is supposed to define the features of your face. If you contour your nose, you usually contour it to slim down your nose. If you contour your jawline, it's normally to, you know, kind of suck up the extra, maybe like if you have a double chin like me, you know, you contour there to kind of give it that shadow and that illusion that everything is kind of sucked in and pulled together. Same with your cheeks. You want to define that line and give you a nice cheek bone structure. Basically, you use it to create shadows wherever you want those shadows. With contour, blending is key. Blending is the most important thing ever with contouring. You don't want straight lines anywhere on your face. I mean, it's the same with eyeshadow, with blush, anything you have. Blend, blend, blend. You always want to blend. With contouring, there are several different brushes that you can use depending on the formula of the contour you're going to use. Now, I've never seen a liquid contour yet. I've seen stick, which is mostly cream, and I've seen palettes like this, which are powder. Next, I'm going to show you the brushes that I normally use for contouring. Now, you can use any freaking brush you want. It does not matter. These are just brushes that I have here that I've either used or people say are for contouring. Makeup has absolutely no rules. If you want to use a fucking highlighter brush to contour, go ahead. No one's gonna stop you. But this is how I contour. Now, in the beginning, when I didn't know anything about contouring and I started learning and I wanted to try, I found that fluffy brushes were too much for me. They were too much because I was like, oh my god. Because when you don't contour regularly or you've never contoured and you want to get into it and you have a lot of contour going on, it kind of freaks you out a little bit. I mean, it intimidated me for a little. So I actually got the EcoTools fan brush. This thing is so soft, and this thing I love when I was beginning to contour. Now I know fan brushes are normally used for highlighting and all that good stuff, but you can use this for bronzing, for contouring, for highlight, and even to set your face with. So I love this brush because it's very versatile. For contouring, I will probably most likely use this to show you guys, and my other fluffy brush. But with contouring, you want to use fluffy brushes, especially if you're using powder. Now, if you're using cream, you want to use a little bit more of a denser brush to blend that cream out, because a fluffy brush really just isn't going to do it with that cream. It's probably going to give you splotchiness and it's not going to blend very well. So this is one of my favorite contouring brushes, especially the fact that it's tapered here and it kind of gives it a little bit of a point. So you pick up a little bit of the contour, and what I like to do is kind of make that fishy face, and wherever that shadow is, that line, this with the tapered edge just fits nicely into the hollows of my cheeks. So the next brush I'm going to talk about is you can use for cream and for powders. It is the BS Mall Flat Angled Kabuki. This thing is very, very densely packed, so it is great for cream or powder. Now this is a little bit more intimidating because it puts out a lot more pigment if you're using powder. So if you're a beginner, I would advise to use something a little bit more fluffy like this as opposed to something dense like this. I use the angled part right here to get into the hollows of my cheeks and just blend upwards, and it gives such a nice contour with the angled edge. Now I do have a flat top as well, but I feel like with a flat top it just doesn't get into the hollows of my cheeks like I like them. If you see any of my other old videos, you will know that BS Mall brushes are very affordable. I will leave the link to where you can get the BS Mall brushes down below. Now the next brush I'm going to talk about is definitely for powders. You can use it for bronzing or for contouring. This is the BH Cosmetics bronzer slash contour brush. As you can see, it is very, very fluffy. It's a little dense, but not as dense as the BS Mall. It's kind of rounded at the top, it fans out, and it's very, very fluffy. So this as well gets into the hollows of my cheeks, and it blends everything wonderfully. It blends everything evenly, and you don't get the splotchiness or patchiness. So I really, really like this brush. The last brush I'm going to talk about is the BH Cosmetics Flat Contour Brush. Now this is used mostly for creams. I don't reach for creams, but this is definitely a great brush, and it does disperse the product nice and evenly, and it blends it very, very well. So with cream products, you do want more of a dense brush, so that's why I say that this is great for cream as well. With the way that this is cut, it is flat, but it does go out a little bit. So with this, you can really get a nice cream contour and work the product to where you want them. These are the 4 brush shapes, I should say, because you don't necessarily have to have these exact brushes, but maybe look for these kind of shaped brushes depending on whether you want a powder contour or a cream contour. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to contour, simple and easy. I won't be bronzing my face just because this is a video on how to contour. So I am actually going to use my favorite EcoTools fan brush because this thing has just never done me wrong with contouring, and it is just so easy to use. It's so easy to use, it's so fluffy, it's so soft, and it's just great at contouring. I'm going to take the Smashbox contour powder, and I'm basically going to lightly just sweep back and forth about 2 times, and you can see right there on the brush that it is coated. There's several ways where you can judge where to contour your face. Now remember, this is a video on how to contour round faces, so if you have a heart-shaped face or a square-shaped face, then you might want to look up just where to contour. Wherever you have natural shadows is usually where you want to contour because you want to define that shadow. So right here is where I want to contour. Now another way to find where to contour is to make a face. So basically for me, if I smile with these big ass cheeks, you can tell that I'm going to contour right here because this is where the hollows of my cheeks are. So you can easily just smile and kind of gauge where to contour. Another face you can make is the fishy face, where you basically just suck it in. Now if you do a duck face, you can definitely find your contour line. As you can see right here, I have a little bit of a shadow. When I do a duck face, right there, there's that shadow. That is where you want to contour your face. One of the tricks that I have learned is when you contour, you do not want to go past the end of your eye. If I hold a straight brush like this, that is where I'm going to stop contouring. I'm not going to bring it any further in. I'm not going to bring it any further down. I'm going to stop contouring right there. Another tip is you never want to blend downward with a contour. You always want to blend up. So now that I have my brush coated with the Smashbox contour, I'm just going to make my fishy face and contour from there. Now, As you can see, I have a slight contour, but not much. That's another reason why I love this Equal Tools brush, especially if you're a beginner, because this does pick up a lot of pigment, but it disperses it so well that it looks nice and blended and not too pigmented, not too muddy, and not too harsh of a contour. I'm just gonna go in a little bit more with that Smashbox contour. And again, right here is a little bit too much in. So what I normally like to do when this kind of stuff happens is I will take something like a flat brush like this, and I will just go upwards. I will just blend it up, and it takes that muddiness away. So you want to do this with something that might have a little bit of foundation on it, and it'll help erase that mistake. I'm going to go in again with this and just kind of blend up and to give it a little bit more pigment. When I look forward, as you can see right here, I have more of a defined shadow than I do on this side of my face. So that is basically where you want to contour, is wherever the shadow hits your face. Now, another part where you want to contour is if you have a big forehead, like me right here, if I didn't have any hair right here, I would want to contour all of this to make my head a little smaller, because the whole point of contouring is basically to make your face. That's why contouring is so great, because it can really change the shape of your face. Now, if you do, like I said, if you have a wide forehead, you want to take the contour brush and you kind of want to contour on the corners. To contour your forehead, you're just going to take a little bit more. I literally just pressed in to the contour powder, and you're just going to lightly brush the corners of your face. So basically the hairline. Because I have a widow's peak, I always like to contour in here. I just want a slight contour because I don't feel like my forehead is too big. Maybe some of you guys might think my forehead is too big, but I like the shape of my forehead, so I'm not gonna overly contour that. I won't show you guys how to contour your nose just because I don't personally contour my nose, but I will show you where you can contour if you do decide to. Now, as for me, I like the shape of my nose. I think it suits my face. Now, there are people out there who want to slim their nose down a little bit, so I'm going to take contour and contour this rounded tip right here. That's it. That's all I'm gonna contour. Now, with the jawline, I have a double chin that just, it just pops up. So I'm going to go ahead and chisel that out. As you can see already, there's a shadow going on. I don't have any contour, but that is where you want to contour, is where you see your shadow. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the contour shade, and again, that's why I love this brush, is because of the tapered end. And I'm just going to go right where that shadow is, and a little bit up. Now, you don't want to bring it up too far because you're gonna look straight at somebody and they're gonna see this line and it's not gonna look cute. So you always want to make sure you want to keep it underneath. Another thing is you always want to blend. So after you go and do this with the contour and contour out your shape of your jaw, you want to blend downwards. This is the only time you want to blend downwards. Now, you don't want to blend too much, okay, to where you have this big brown turtleneck going on. You just want to blend enough to where it looks kind of like a shadow no matter what. And that's how you want to contour. Now, if you see when I'm looking straight at the camera, you can tell that this side of my face is so much more slim, sucked in, more defined than it is over here. That is basically how to contour a round face. Oval face is basically similar to a round face contour, so if you have an oval face, this will work for you as well. Let me just get that out there. This is how I contour. If you want to contour a certain way and you have a round face, go ahead. There are no rules in makeup at all. And I just wanted to share with you guys who might be struggling, who might be beginners, or who might not have ever contoured at all but want to start. So that's why I wanted to show you some of the tools that I used, and I hope that this helps somebody out there. If you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. If you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply just want to talk shit, leave it all in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!